morning, everyone. Hope everyone is staying safe and well. And for those of you stuck at home, enjoying your staycation, doing research, watching videos, and just making the best of this that we can. I've been trying to get caught up on emails, so hopefully we can get our nail and coffin done this weekend. But I did have an elder's letter come in. Thank you very much, Atlantis. And for those of you, PIMO elders who leak this information out to us. And I've also got a couple of articles that are disturbing of things, some things Jehovah's Witnesses have done. But before that, I want to read an email here. Thank you very much, PG. And this is interesting. So Watchtower, if you're still watching our videos, pay attention. Elders are taking matters in their own hands and making executive decisions, which isn't good. There was a meeting, an emergency meeting till 1:30 a.m. and it was announced that all in the Kingdom Hall are to drop off all emergency supplies to the hall. The elders will distribute supplies equally on a schedule so that one person at a time picks up. The ministerial servant said there were no letters read. It seemed like a panic call made by elders trying to keep control. That same congregation's Kobe said that the hall was only going to be closed for 2 weeks, regardless of what they were told to do so. Now, for those of you who didn't hear, yesterday in this country there was a special report, and the president, the vice president, and several of his health advisors and doctors and stuff had a press conference that lasted for quite a while, describing, what measures were going to be put in place. There are going to be no events with more than 10 people. So that means congregation meetings. They also mentioned that this may be in place until like June or July. And so if the authorities, are saying no more than 10 people for a while now, then why are the elders saying they're going to have meetings here in 2 weeks again, no matter what they're told? That's going against to what the governing body is telling them, because I'm going to read a letter here, what it says. Yeah, sounds like real humble governing body followers. Yeah, it sounds like some elders that I know that just want to make executive decisions and take control in their own hands. And for Jehovah's Witnesses to take emergency supplies to the Kingdom Hall and hand them over instead of keeping them? How dumb! How do you know that you're going to get taken care of? And what happens if somebody says, they said something against the organization, they're an apostate. You lose all that stuff, guys. Wow. Now, some congregations in the Chicago area have canceled all meetings through May 1st so far. And that goes along with the elders letter I'm going to read here in a minute. So thank you. Thank you. Now, the elders letter is dated March 16, 2020 to all bodies of elders. And this is a letter from the U.S. Maintaining congregation meetings during COVID-19 pandemic. Dear brothers, during the current pandemic, our dear brothers and sisters need loving elders who will shepherd them and provide well-prepared, timely spiritual instruction. Yeah, that really goes along with what I just read, that they're going to take your emergency supplies and distribute them. Therefore, please maintain regular contact with each family in the congregation, including making shepherding calls, perhaps by telephone. What about those PIMOs that aren't getting any of this information? Maybe ones who are fading a little bit? They're not getting any of this information or instructions from the elders. They're being neglected and kept out in the dark. Back to the letter. It is also the governing body's earnest desire that bodies of elders continue to conduct regular weekly congregation meetings, allowing the brothers and sisters to meet together, even electronically, and express their faith is much better than simply watching a recorded program. As noted below, making use of JW Stream should be considered only when other alternatives are not possible. While gathering at the Kingdom Hall is the preferred method for meeting together as a congregation, this may not be possible or advisable, especially in light with what President Trump announced yesterday, that no more than 10 people in a gathering. And what they also did is bars and restaurants, they're cautioning people to be very cautious, and they're limiting half as much as what is allowed by the fire code in these restaurants, and they're making them put tables and booths 6 feet apart. So how is that going to work in a Kingdom Hall? All right. If secular authorities restrict large gatherings or limit the size of gatherings out of concern for public safety, we should be obedient and show that we are in subjection to the superior authorities. So this group of elders that I just read about in the Midwest, they're not following this. And any other congregation that is going against this. Which brings up another question. If they're obedient to the authorities over this, then why aren't they obedient to the authorities on reporting child abuse and pedophiles? Good Lord. Back to hypocrisy. At the same time, the body of elders should give serious consideration to the following alternative ways of conducting the weekly meetings. Present programs by video conference. The elders may choose to use online conferencing tools such as Zoom or Skype. These tools allow the brothers and sisters to see each other, offer comments, and present their meeting parts from home. In this way, they can encourage one another. If it is not practical to tie in all publishers in one video conference, the elders could arrange a number of smaller video conferences, perhaps according to field service groups. In all cases, publishers would connect from their own homes. There would be no need for them to meet together in person. Present programs from the Kingdom Hall. Only program participants would assemble at the Kingdom Hall. All others would connect to the meeting electronically, such as by telephone tie line or video streaming. In some cases, it may be possible for those connected to participate in the meetings. Shepherd the Flock of God, Book, Chapter 20, Paragraph 24. If it is not possible to have audience participation, the assigned brother would summarize the material. Next point, organize meetings in smaller groups. If secular authorities permit, and it is safe to do so, the body of elders may organize meetings by small neighborhood groups or family groups. If brothers are not available in such groups to conduct meetings, sisters could meet to consider the material together. Next point, selective use of JW Stream. Now we have heard, some have called us and contacted us and said that their system is being overwhelmed because there's so many trying to get the JW Stream that sometimes when they try to sign in, windows pop up saying it's not available at this time because of the heavy traffic, that type of message. Making use of JW Stream should be considered only when other alternatives are not possible. JW Stream should not be used as a substitute for congregation meetings week after week. Jehovah's people rejoice at every opportunity to come together for worship and to express their faith by commenting, even if this must take place by video conference. Well, I'm sure they're all excited and a little bit anxious because they think this is the beginning of the Great Tribulation. They're all ready to, get their to-go bag and go down to the bunkers. Next point, inactive. The elder should reach out to inactive ones and keep them updated as to adjustments in the meeting arrangements. Well, they're not doing that because several inactive ones, they're telling me they're not hearing anything. They're not getting any information or anything. Shepherd the Flock of God book, chapter 25, paragraphs 13 to 15. If needed, elders may grant inactive ones access to JW Stream. The world situation may well move some to return to Jehovah. So they're hoping this is going to scare those fading PMOs back to the organization. And it might. There might be a few that decide to go back. Next point, disfellowshipped. Elders should use good judgment in determining whether and how to make brief contact with disfellowshipped ones to inform them about adjusted meeting arrangements held at the Kingdom Hall. Shepherd the Flock of God book, chapter 25, paragraph 20. If meetings are not being held at the Kingdom Hall, then the elder should use good judgment in considering whether to grant a disfellowshipped person access to recordings of meetings on JW Stream. These alternative ways of conducting meetings may need to be adjusted based on local circumstances. Elders should keep in mind that local publishers will have to make decisions regarding meeting attendance based on their personal circumstances. We thank you in advance for your fine efforts to care for the spiritual needs of Jehovah's precious sheep. Oh, good Lord. All right, now I'm going to put the link down below, and you'll have to use Google Translate. Jehovah's Witness has been charged with sexual assault on a 14-year-old minor, and this is really sickening. It really is. So anyway, I'm going to put the link down below. I'm not going to read the article because it goes into gross details of what he did to this poor girl. Also, there is an article, Mexico, the femicide of Sarah Abigail cannot go unpunished. We demand justice. And like I said, I'm going to put the link to the article here. The following was written by a comrade whose sister tragically became a victim of femicide, which has become a plague on Mexican society. The comrade demands justice for her sister and every other victim of the rotten capitalist system, which has violence against women written into its DNA. And this has been going on for thousands and thousands of years. Not one more woman murdered. Justice for Sarah Abigail and all victims of femicide. Now I'm just gonna scroll down to the pertinent part. She wanted to leave behind a person who hurt her a lot, a man who controlled her since she was 16 years old. When she was a minor, this individual began a romantic relationship with Sarah and never accepted that she no longer wanted to be with him. This goes far beyond a conflict between two people. The subheading that interested me was Complicity of Jehovah's Witnesses, and I want to thank Atlantis for sending me the link to both of these articles. Sarah and her murderer met in a congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses. It is important to mention this because this organization now plays the role of protecting the alleged culprit, and we have seen this worldwide. They hide these perpetrators. They even tried to protect their organization under the clergy penitent privilege now. So this is a plague within the community. Said congregation is located in Pachuca de Soda in the state of Hidalgo. Years before, our whole family belonged to that religion, but by 2012, when Sarah was 16, only she continued to attend the congregation. It's quite a long blog or article, but I will mention this. In this congregation, the abusive relationship that this much older individual had with Sarah was known. I will not mention names because the individual has not even been subjected to prosecution. The authorities should be called. The adults who knew about the situation remained silent. No one sought out her parents to warn them of the danger Sarah was in. Years passed and this relationship continued in secret. But anyway, she ended up being murdered. And, they're trying to say she committed suicide. And, so anyway, I'll put the link down below. Very disturbing. So anyway, thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And we love you. You have a wonderful day. Bye.